There is a term that has become very popular in recent years, though many people are unaware of its meaning. The word is the verb gaslight, and it means to cause a person to doubt his or her sanity through the use of psychological manipulation. It comes from the 1944 movie of the same name starring Ingrid Bergman, where she plays a woman married to an abusive husband who secretly and repeatedly dims and brightens the gaslights in the house. When she notices the change in brightness, her husband denies anything is different in an attempt to make her think she is going crazy. And now this term has come to be used in any endeavor that tries to make people doubt their perspective. For instance, this has been going on for decades, but the idea of this notion of separation of church and state is constitutional, even though that phrase is found nowhere in our founding documents. So this caused back in the 60s people to push to remove prayer in public school, as well as Bible and displaying the 10 Commandments. And if people talk about the need for having those things within public schools, they are in one sense gaslit by saying, well, no, that's unconstitutional, even though it's not found in the Constitution. Another area is, up until recently, marriage was defined and understood as the union of an adult man and an adult woman. But with the 2015 Obergefell Supreme Court decision, now marriage can be between adults of the same sex or gender. And if anyone questions this reality, they are chastised as a bigot and a homophobe. In the same way, humanity has universally lived under the belief that there were two main genders, male and female. Intersex anomalies do exist, such as Klinefelter syndrome, but genetically, we have discovered that girls are born with two X chromosomes and boys are born with an XY. Now, the phenomenon of transgenderism has exploded, where people no longer identify with the sex or genetics they were born with. This used to be understood as a psychological disorder in previous DSMs, or diagnostic statistical manuals, labeled gender identity disorder. Today, an individual can self-identify as one of any number of genders. At one point, Facebook offered over 50 different gender options people could choose for their profiles. Again, if some try to question or object to this trend, they are considered transphobic and hateful. This is the true gaslighting. People have intentionally adjusted or altered the standards of reality, and anyone who notices or doesn't agree with the changes are called crazy, old-fashioned, and narrow-minded. The goal of gaslighting is to silence others or make them conform. It's all a form of manipulation and control that uses deception and hoaxes to exploit people to think, talk, and act a certain way. Even though the term gaslight is relatively new as far as words go, the concept and practice of it has been around since the beginning of humanity. Back in Genesis, when the serpent is talking with Eve, he tries to deceive and manipulate her by asking, "Did God really say?" This deconstructionist questioning continues thousands of years later as people ask, is it really constitutional to teach religion in schools? Is marriage really between a man and a woman? Are there really only two genders? The MO of the enemy is to confuse people, distort the word of God, and cloud the truth. The church's call is to speak clearly, proclaim the gospel, and reveal the truth. May we recognize the gaslighting going on around us and shine the true light of the world as ambassadors of peace, love, reconciliation, and righteousness.